Okay, so I think I finally have a good setup for door cancel leaf with stick for low percent. It's not 100% consistent, but seems like to have a high consistency rate for me, which is something, so I'm going to make a video for it. So drop the stick here. This is where roughly we're going to end our position with this little setup, and then we need to get a stick after, so just put it there, anywhere there. And now anywhere along the wall, just like settle yourself into position against it by like rolling into it. I like to walk into it and then roll. It doesn't really matter, just do whatever. Just roll into it if you want to. Now, see out the free cam and then roll right to a 90-degree turn. You could also just ESS turn. And now I'm going to walk forward until I see a visual cue that I use. And the one I use, I just stop, see up, and all the way up. I'm way too far forward right now. Make sure you're only going back and forward. And also like make sure you're target walking so that your angle never changes just due to camera shenanigans. Still way too far. I should make my cameras being weird. Yeah, there you go. That looks good to me. So what I'm looking at here, well hopefully it's good, is this second Japanese character. This like top left line that comes out of this character, I'm making sure that the right side of it is flush with this line coming down. That's maybe a little hard to see, but I can see it. Yeah, once that's good, I check that to make sure I'm in position, and now I exit, and then I free cam out so that I can grab the stick. Okay, sometimes you might not be able to grab the stick if you dropped it in a kind of bad spot. Usually you can just immediately, but if not, just ESS turn a little bit, and then try to grab it. Crouch grab. If it's even further away, that usually helps you. And now, because I free cammed out, I can hold ESS up and get roughly the same angle back. Roughly, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it seems to be consistent enough for me. And now I'm going to buffer left 4 frames to roughly this value. Whoops, I passed it way too far. This value. It's just the 27,000 with a low hundreds number, roughly. Roughly about 200, sometimes 300. And then I'm going to side hop left. And now I'm going to side hop right 5 times. And now I'm going to buffer left 6 frames to roughly this value, which is negative 23,000 with a low hundreds number once again. 300-ish usually, maybe high 200s. And now I'm going to set a side hop and jump attack, and then I'm going to do slow jump attacks, slow, until I settle into an invisible seam that you'll be able to see pretty clearly between Link's legs once I get there, and then I can mash fast. Mash slow. Really slow. And then you can see the seam that's there now, and I'm like settling, and now I go fast. And hopefully, if everything was consistent enough and your position setup, or like not too variable, you will just hopefully void out. But if not, you'll just jump attack through and then hit the water and then void out. Yeah, that's the setup. Hopefully, it's cool. Real quick, I'm gonna go over some issues I found with it that seem to be plaguing it, but for the most part, this is pretty consistent. So yeah, cool. The 2 things I've found that are kind of consistent, or like kind of a problem, and that lead to inconsistencies is one, sometimes when you settle against the wall or try to, when you turn to the right, whether it be ESS turn or like a roll, sometimes you'll notice that like you're farther away from the wall than usual. So like here, you notice I'm pretty close to the wall, and like if I walk forward, my ear like gets clipped into the wall. But sometimes this wall here. But sometimes, like I don't know why, when you do like the roll against this wall to like settle your position along it, you'll just be like further out. And it's very obvious. It's like something like this. If you see that, I would just like stop. You're at the beginning, just redo it. And bam. I was able to get it happening in action. So here's what it looks like, real quick. If I do my normal thing, and you realize I'm really far from the wall. It's like, what the heck? I don't know why that happens, but yeah. And then other times, do I have a save state? Let me just get back there real quick. Okay, other times you won't land exactly in this spot. Make a save state, and when you go for the side hops right, you sometimes will either clip through the ground and fall into the water below, or you'll just like hop back in bounds on the pond over there, because you'll land in like such a different spot. It's pretty obvious. Usually it's like if you're higher up, you can tell. And what I like to do in that case, let me just get like roughly in that position. Like I don't know, like if you're like up here when you land. It's like, usually the tell is like there's an invisible seam you can see in front of Link's shadow if like you're in a weird spot like that one. And if you can see it like with this camera, if you side hop usually to be bad, what I like to do is like I try to like carefully ESS turn towards like this wall and then barely nudge up. If you go even too much fast, you'll clip through and you'll fall. And then at this point, the normal setup that I showed before won't work, and you kind of have to like freestyle it. And I'll show real quick what I like to do that kind of makes it work most of the time, is I lock cam and then, or like hold target and then left or right, C-stick until the like this island silhouette in the background is flush with the right end of the screen, and then I let go of cam or L, and then I ESS up to settle my angle, and then walk into the middle, both like vertically and horizontally, like with in relation to link of this like light texture. And then I buffer to roughly the same angle. It's a lot of more frames now that I'm facing the other way. Like something like this, roughly. And then you just do the setup. I would play around this angle a little bit more. I haven't looked into that much, but yeah, that's roughly what you want to do if like you get a weird landing position in there. But yeah, that's what I got so far. Cool. So here's me. I got in a bad position where if I set out right, I would go back in bounds. You can decide how left though. But if you get the other fail case where you fall down, you fall down. But here, then I'm just showing I walk up very slowly after fixing my angle to the right. And then once you're a little up, you can get a little more crazy with your movement. It's just the beginning. You have a big scare falling off. But yeah, that's what I do there.